And these are the generation of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of the Pandaram, the sister of Laban and Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her.
So right here we see when Isaac retreated unto the Most High God for Rebekah to be able to have children. Even when Rebekah became pregnant, she had problems within her womb with these two children. You read?
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
So Rebekah had to require unto the Most High God, ask, Lord, if this so, why am I having these pains? Or why are these two children is literally fighting in her stomach? They were literally fighting in their mother's stomach. These two brothers. Watch what God tell Rebekah, read.
And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
So God told her off the rip, you got 2 nations. He didn't say you got 2 children. He said you got 2 nations that is in your womb. This goes right back when you think about it when God created Adam and Eve. When people in their mindset thinking Adam and Eve made all these people on the earth. No, the word Adam, everybody that God had created during that time was Adams. And he just had one specific Adam that he only dealt with. And that's the Alpha Adam. But every man, every woman that he had created in the beginning, then would call Adam. So right here, when you go in Genesis 25, when you're speaking about the other 2 nations that is about to start on the earth, they were fighting in their mother's womb. And God had to say, you got 2 nations in your womb. Let's read on.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And God let her know, these 2 nations going to be separated. This is what we trying to tell everybody. You will never ever find peace between the white man and the black man. There will never be peace between us. You might see things happen to the point that, oh, these people ain't getting along, they're working together. It's just only for a short period of time. Until their true nature come back up. Read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
One nation of people going to be stronger than the other nation of people. Read.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
The oldest child will serve the youngest child. Keep that in mind. The oldest child will serve the youngest child. Read.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
There were twins in her womb. So we already know off the rip, the Bible says it's 2 manner of nation in your womb. We already know that these 2 children are going to be twins, but they're not going to be identical twins. Read.
And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment.
So the Bible is starting to describe this one child. The one child came out red all over his whole body. And he was hairy like a garment. Read.
And they called his name Esau.
And they called this son named Esau. Read.
And after that came his brother out. And his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
So now the next child came out, and his name was called Jacob. And they were fighting so bad in their mother's womb that child Jacob was holding the heel of Esau, the oldest son, while he was coming out. Read.
And his name was called Jacob.
And his name was called Jacob. Read.
And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
So check this out. Jacob came out. The Bible didn't describe how Jacob looked. The Bible said he came out and holding the heel of his brother's foot. That's how bad they were fighting. They were fighting from the day the seed got planted in her all the way until they was coming out their mother's womb. They was fighting. Then the Bible went into more depth for us to realize and draw the picture and who these people is today. The Bible said the first child, one going to be stronger than the other child. When you look around the world today, the so-called black man, even the Spanish man, even the Native American, we are some strong nation of people. We are very strong. But when you look at the so-called white man, he get his energy and his strength from who? From us. This earth that we live in today, so-called America, it was built off the back of black folks. This land was started from the Native American and the Spanish, because they was in this land before anybody else came over here. The so-called white man came and he took this land by force, and we're going to see how he did that. How he been able to even be able to do that. So right here we see that the things that's going on in the world today now that being discovered or creating things in this earth is all off the back of black folks. The money wealth in this country today is actually coming from black folks. Because who literally making the white man rich today is the black folks. Look at the women who go to the Chinese stores and get their weave. The Chinese stores make over $1 billion a year just by selling weave. To get their nail done. We are the ones that keeping this country over here afloat. That's why our black sisters and brothers will only wake up and start trying to do things on their own and build things in their own community. You would literally shut down the economy. Or we would stop celebrating their pagan traditional holidays. You would literally shut down the economy. But the white man noticed. So he said, we have to keep the cool when we need them at. Keep throwing stuff out there to make them want it. Let's get some of your R&B singers, your basketball players, your football players, to stand in the front video screen to brainwash them and make them believe that, no, you can make it. Because when you look at a lot of the football player coach who's trying to own a team, the white man said, no, you're going to pass your level of understanding. You got to stay to the bottom and work for me. Bill Cosby found that out himself when he's trying to buy NBC. They charged all kind of accusation on him about rape. Read that verse 27.
Verse 20.
Yeah, read 27 one time.
27. Verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
Now, this is another key word. It's that Esau was a cunning hunter. What nation of people like to go in the woods and hunt all the time? The white man. Black people don't do that too much. When we hit something, what was that? We ain't gonna be too quick and do that. Esau would sit out in the trees and hunt. It'd be cold. They would go get down just so they can be able to track the people. I mean, the deal. Read on.
A man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
Who like to sit in the house most of the time? That's black folks. The one tent to turn into house. That's what we like to do. Oh, it's too hot. I'm not going out there today. Wait until that sun go down. Why you think we all keep our high holy days when the sun go down? That should be a key point to wake a lot of people up right there. Read.
And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob saw it pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
There's another thing that open a lot of people's eyes up too. Black people is real close to their mother. White children is closer to who? Their father. So you see the character in knowing who these people is today. That's why I say the Bible is really clear. We just got to learn how to keep the laws and commandments to let the Most High God use us to open our minds up to see the Bible come to reality. From there, give me number 20.
The book of Numbers, chapter 20 and verse 14. And Moses sent messenger from Kadesh unto the king of Edom. Thus saith thy brother Israel, thou knowest all the travail that had befallen us. How our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time, and the Egyptians vexed us and our fathers.
Go back to verse 14, I missed something.
Verse 14. And Moses sent messenger from Kadesh unto the king of Edom.
So right here, Moses sent messages unto Kadesh, the king of Edom. Because during that time, we were traveling through the wilderness trying to get to our promised land. So we had to go through Edom to get to where we need to go at. But watch what this devil do. Read.
Thus said thy brother Israel, thou knowest all the travail that had befallen us. How our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time, and the Egyptians vexed us and our father.
So he telling Edom, the king Edom, about the story what we was going through and how the Egyptians vexed us in that land. Read.
And when we cried unto the Lord, he heard our voice.
But that's the key thing right there. Moses said, and when we cry, the Most High God hear our voice. Right now, the so-called black man, the Spanish man, Native American man, we ain't crying in this land. We are being vexed in this land as we speak. How we being vexed, Joel? When you look on the news, you hear about cops shooting us down in the streets. You hear about young teenage white child will go in a grocery store and shoot up the whole grocery store. You will hear about a white dude go inside the church building and sit down when they're having a Bible study and then turn around and shoot everybody in the church. You will hear about a dude going into the school and shooting out elementary kids in the school. But we always want to sit back, but we got to learn how to forgive people. Well, hold up. Why ain't nobody asking a question when we do something we get held accountable for what we do? They don't give you no chance to even to escape. They kill you right there before you even make it to a trial to be judged for. When the cops is called on you and they have to come, they come come with their guns already drawn and bullet ready to let go. Nobody don't think about when you get pulled over by the cop, you got to say in your mind, Lord, I hope this man don't shoot me. Let me make sure I got all my papers right and make sure I'm not moving around too much because I don't want to get shot. Why in the world do black folks have to sit down and teach their children on what to do when you get pulled over by a cop? When these supposed to be the people that are supposed to serve and protect. You don't have white folks or the Chinese man teaching their children and what to do when the cops pull them over. But the black man got to teach his child on what they have to do when they get pulled over. You got to teach your kids, when you go in the grocery store, don't be putting your hands in your pockets all the time. Because they might think you want to steal something. Don't be just running around, walking around in the store, or you know you really ain't going to buy nothing. Why do the black man have to teach their child this concept? Why do we, as a nation of people, have to teach our children don't be going in the wrong side of the neighborhood? Because you might get shot. Not only from the white side of the neighborhood, but you might get killed over in your own neighborhood. This don't make no sense to me. The white man don't gotta teach your child that. No, the white man do teach your child this right here. Don't go in that black side of the neighborhood because those people don't got no kind of class about this stuff. They teach them that. But when their kids want to rebel against their parents, what do the little white kids do? They come right on that side of the neighborhood to try to kick it with us. And what we do, we open arms. Welcome, see, he down with the game. No, he ain't down with the game. He's trying to get back at his parents. He's trying to be rebellious. Because when the police come, they're going to send him back home and they're going to send Yoba up to the prison house. We is going through this land to try to get to our land, but Edom going to say something. Read on.
Verse 16. And when we cried unto the Lord, he heard our voice, and sent an angel, and had brought us forth out of Egypt, and behold, we are in Kadesh.
So Moses telling the story how God sent an angel and bring us out of Egypt into where we at now in the land of Kadesh. This is the only way we're going to be delivered, y'all. We got to learn how to cry out unto God. Not by ourselves, but as a nation, as a whole. When God hear our cry that we are tired of being persecuted, we are tired going through day by day trying to figure out how I'm going to pay my bills. We are tired of seeing our loved one being shot down in these streets. We are tired that our brothers is prostituting our sisters. We are tired of our sisters walking around like harlots. When we are tired, then God will hear us cry. But right now, Israel is too comfortable in their living. Read on.
A city in the uttermost of the border. Let us pass, I pray thee, through thy country. We will not pass through the fields or through the vineyard, neither will we drink of the water of the well. We will go by the king's highway. We will not turn to the right hand nor to the left until we have passed thy borders.
Yeah, I didn't know something, the king's highway. You know that's the song? That's the old song they used to sing, by the king's highway. But when you listen to this verse 17, we were pleading with Esau way back then. Just let us go past. We ain't trying to bother y'all. We just want to be equal with y'all. That's what you see a lot of our people doing today. We just want to be equal with you. We want to, we want to have the same rights that you got when you're supposed to be above them. We're not supposed to be equal with no other nation. We're supposed to be above all the nations. But even back then, listen what Edom tell Moses. Read on.
And Edom said unto him, Thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with the sword.
So Edom said, no, you ain't going to come past my border. If you come past me, I'm going to come out with a sword. Why would he say that? Let's see the blessing that Esau is supposed to get. Go back to Genesis 27 and verse 38.
Book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 38. And Edom said...
Before you get there, because we're using in that context the word Edom. Let's get the understanding who is Edom. Go back to Genesis 25 and verse 30.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
So Esau's name was changed to Edom because he wanted to eat bloody meat. He couldn't wait until the food was finished cooking. He wanted to eat the meat now. That's not a sign for the white man. They love their meat raw. Oh, it's so delicate. It's so juicy. You just take the juice running on. You don't take the juice running down your face, man. That's blood running down your face. But this is not a key point in showing you who is Esau. Esau's name was changed to Edom. Now let's get 27.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
So Esau was playing with his father. He started to cry because Jacob got the blessing. You remember, the Bible told Rebekah, the older child going to serve who? The youngest child. So when that blessing came through, that's why they sealed the whole deal that, all right, Esau going to serve Jacob. All the nation going to serve Jacob. So right here, Esau was going to be tricky. Everybody's going to say, see, Jacob stole Esau, but no, he didn't. It was already predestinated that Jacob was supposed to get that blessing. Could we read it in Genesis 25? Because the Bible literally say, right here, hold what you got, let's get back, for nobody have to use the concept. Because Christian church, these poach-out pastors out here, they always say Jacob stole Esau's blessing. And that's not true. Read verse 23.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
The elder shall serve the youngest. So Rebekah understands the promise. Rebekah know what God already said. Who's supposed to serve who? Esau was the firstborn. Jacob was the second child that came out. And the Bible said the oldest should serve the youngest. So if Esau would have got the blessing from his father, that means this whole prophecy would have been out of line. That's why I said the Most High God in control of everything. He already know. So when you read further on down, I think it's verse, oh, hold on, let me see if I can find that. Yeah, go to, you know what? Read verse 30, we're going to read on down.
30.
Yeah.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee.
No, I'm sorry, start verse 29.
The book Genesis, chapter 25 and verse 29. And Jacob saw it parted, And Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
So he was fainting, he was hungry, he was thirsty, he wanted something to eat. So he went to his brother, read.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
So God changed his name right there because he said, all right, this dude want to eat bloody meat. So I'm going to change his name from Esau to Edom. Read.
And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright.
So Jacob said, sell me your birthright. Jacob didn't store nothing. Jacob literally said, sell me your birthright. Because we know and understand back in those days, who was the one to get the blessing, the birthright? The older child. But the Most High God already revealed to Rebekah and who's supposed to get what? Read.
And Esau, 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me?
So Esau didn't give a D about his birthright. You know, what the birthright got to do for me? I'm hungry. I don't care about this birthright. Really?
And Jacob said, swear to me this day.
Do what?
Swear to me this day.
Read.
And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
So he sold his birthright. Right there off the rip. He sold his birthright unto Jacob. So Jacob didn't steal nothing. But when you read further on down the story, just for the sake of time, I'm not trying to read it all. Isaac called Esau into his room and told Esau, fix me some of that venison that you always fix. I like how you fix it. So Rebekah overheard the conversation. So Rebekah know how to fix it just like Esau, because I'm assuming she the one who teach him how to fix it. So she said, she went and she got it, and she fixed it just the way how he liked it. And she took the goat hair and put it on Jacob. Now, that's not a key point when you think about the story, because don't white people smell like animal when they get wet? Hey, I'm just saying. The Bible drawing the picture for us. So his mother took the goat hair and put it on Jacob, for Jacob could go in the room to receive the blessing. So the father, I just say, your voice sound like Jacob, but your hand, your arm feel like Esau. Because Isaac was going blind, he couldn't see. So right here we see that white people feel like animal, they smell like animal. So Jacob had to go get the blessing because it was already predestinated. So now when we jump down to chapter 27.
39, yeah.
Go back to verse 38.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
So Esau lifted up his voice and he wept because he knows that, oh, no, I'm getting this blessing because now Jacob got all the blessings that he's supposed to get. Now remember the concept of the whole story while we went to 27. Because in Numbers, it said, I come out against thee with the sword. So we got to find out why he said what he said. Read on.
Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
Read.
And by the sword, shalt thou live.
Shalt thou live. So Esau's blessing was with the sword. Meaning anything that Esau lay his hand on, he's going to kill it. He's going to fight with the sword and take vengeance of it. That's why he will be in the fatness of every land. What did the white man do when he came into this land? He killed the Native American with the sword and with white Jesus' image. That's what the white man did. When you look right now, what's going on right now with this war breaking out between Russia and Ukraine. Both of them Esau, and they're fighting against each other. And what they're doing, they're fighting with the sword, trying to take power over something else. So when you look throughout history, nowhere in history that the white man came and conquered anything between peace. You never saw it, nowhere in history. It was always bloodshed when the white man laid his hand on anything. And this ain't no hate speech. This is truth speech. It's in history.
Verse chapter 20 and verse 18. And Edom said unto him, Thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with the sword.
Because he already know. If anybody will come get what I want, you're going to have to fight with this sword. And he already know he's going to win. Because that's his blessing. That's what God put in his spirit, and he will conquer anything because that's his blessing. Read.
And the children of Israel said unto him, We will go by the highway, and if I and my cattle drink of thy water, then I will pay for it. I will only, without doing anything else, go through on my feet.
Read.
And he said, Thou shalt not go through. And Edom came out against him with much people and with a strong hand.
So that's the saying that you look at it, that's what they did over here in this land. They came against the Native American and they slaughtered these people. They lied. They give them smallpox. Yeah, they put it in a blanket and give it to the Native American and kill millions of them. And our people today want to celebrate Thanksgiving. When you celebrating the death of your own ancestors. Read.
Verse 21. Thus Edom refused to give Israel passage through his border. Wherefore Israel turned away from him. And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor.
So right here we see that Edom refused to allow the children of Israel to come through their border. That's how much hatred the white man got for the nation of Israel. He do not care for us. Whatever we try to do, Esau will always make it hard for us. Let me draw the picture. When we was living in the slump in the project in this land, first when they started setting up the suburbs area and started allowing black people to move in it, what did the white man do? He went up on the property. So the houses that the black people was getting, they were literally paying triple the price on the houses when the white people were paying less on the houses. It's in history. Why you gotta go back? Better yet, they put it in their own movies. They tell you exactly what they're doing. Right now, even in these days and time now, they have this stuff what they call red line. When Esau don't want you in his community, he will literally up the price on the subdivision where they at that you cannot come in. The only black person who will move in there is the coon. Those that thinking we all equal, we the same. You just listen to Master. Master give you what you want. Those are the type of black people you see move in that neighborhood. But people like us, no. I don't care how much decent job you got or the way how you speak. We don't want your kind in our neighborhood. And let the truth be told, I wouldn't want to live in no neighborhood with a bunch of white folks anyway. I feel uncomfortable staying up in there. Just like y'all see, y'all got to watch your house, I got to keep my eyes open, make sure y'all don't come in my house. Because we already know y'all stole everything that y'all got your hands on. So you might try to steal my own house that I just got to. From there, let me get Sirach 12 and 10.
And the Apocrypha, the book Sirach, chapter 12.
Yeah, 12 and 10, right.
And verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Do what?
Never trust thine enemy.
The Bible tells us to never trust your enemy. Read.
For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
So is his wickedness. Just like you get a piece of iron, it's the nice, clean, shiny, but over time it's going to rust. You might go ahead and get spray paint and paint it nice and shiny again. But when you get the scraping that paint off, guess what behind that paint? That rust. Because guess what? That rust will never go away. It will continue eating through the rest of the whole pipe until eventually it crumbles apart. That's how the white man is. Read.
Though he humble himself.
He might humble himself around you. He might make you feel comfortable. He might make you feel like, you know what? You can do all that as long as you get your education, you can make it to where you want to be at, my friend. We are the same. Your blood is red, my blood is red. They will talk real kind to you like Joel Osteen. Read.
And go crouching.
Uh-huh.
Yet take good heed and beware of him.
Be what?
And beware of
The
him.
Bible tells us to beware of this dude. Read.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away.
It is that his rust had never been wiped away. Meaning, that stain that who he are, that's who he always going to be. God knows exactly what he created. He created Esau to be exactly in who he are today. He created the Chinese man to be exactly who he are today. He created us to be exactly who we are today. Some of us is going to be straight niggas. Some of us going to wake up to be Israelites. True Israelites and the blood. Some of us ain't going to want to change. That's why I say we're going to be just like niggas. Because we ain't going to change. We want to hold on to America custom. From there, give me Sirach 13, 17.
Book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 17. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb?
So the Bible asks, what fellowship do the wolf have with the lamb? Read.
So the sinner with the godly?
Just like the sinner with the godly. Meaning, guess what? Esau is the wolf. We are the lamb. What company do you have with them? How many of you prime example, like I just said earlier? You go to a job and you notice that only very few of you is at that job. You're going to feel some kind of uncomfortable working at that place. Because now you're trying to find out, how should I carry myself? How should I talk? You're going to find out that you being careful in the words that come out your mouth when you work around a bunch of them. Not just only that, even them themselves, when they know they work for a group of black folks, what do white folks happen to end up doing? They should start acting like they us. What's up, man? Yeah, you know, I understand. Yeah, you know, killing them, what's going on? Yeah, man, you don't get out my face. Because they feel uncomfortable working around a bunch of us. And there will be that one that's trying to make sure they snitch for they can help you move up to the top for you get answer to them. So we see there will never be a comfortable circle working with them. Now, you got a half and half group, or yeah, there might be a little different environment in there. But when you know for sure that you can count how many you in that building, you're going to feel uncomfortable. Especially when you look at your cool brothers in there acting just like them, you definitely going to be, man, I don't know, I'm going to be doing this right here. You're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to want to leave. Unless you're going to find yourself fitting right on in because you want to be just like them too. But the Bible's saying, what company do a wolf have with the lamb? There ain't no company right there because we know a wolf will literally slaughter that lamb for lunch meat. From there, give me Sirach 17 and 11.
The book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 11. Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage.
So Israel has the law of life for a heritage. This whole Bible is our heritage. This is our book of understanding and knowing what do God require of us and teach us who is our enemy that is around about us. This is what this Bible right here is for. This Bible is not for everybody on planet Earth. And us blacks and Spanish and Native Americans will have to understand that this ain't a white man book. This is your book. They stole your book from you and took it to control you. Read, this book is our heritage. This book is to help us to live a godly life until Christ comes and redeem us. The book to give us the insight in who our enemy is today. That's what this book is for. Read.
And showed them his judgment. Their eyes saw the majesty.
Verse 12 again.
Verse 12. He made an everlasting covenant with them and showed them his judgment.
So right here he said, he made an everlasting covenant with them. Who is the them he's speaking about? Hold what you got. Give me the book of Psalm 147 and 119.
The book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statute and his judgment unto Israel.
His what?
His statute and his judgment unto Israel.
Read.
He had not dealt so with any nation.
No, he dealt with all nations.
He has not dealt so with any nation.
When Jesus Christ came back, he dealt with all nations.
He had not dealt so with any nation.
Read.
And as for his judgment, they have not known them.
So all the other nations did not know about the judgment that God gave unto the children of Israel. This whole thing was given unto Jacob. Jacob today is turned into the Israelites that is walking the earth. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American. You are the seed of Jacob. From there, give me Romans 9, 4.
Romans chapter 9 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Who are Israelites?
Who are what?
Who are Israelites?
Uh-huh.
To whom pertaineth the adoption
Uh-huh.
and the glory
Uh-huh.
and the covenant
Uh-huh.
and the giving of the law.
So these stuff was given unto the Israelites. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American. You are the children of the promise. Read.
And the service of God and the promises.
And the promises. So we see right here, he give us the covenant. When we read just while ago in Sirach, chapter 17, verse 11, it says, he made an everlasting covenant with them. The them is speaking about Israel. That's who he made the covenant with. He made the covenant with no one else. That covenant was only meant unto the children of Israel. Back to Sirach.
Sirach chapter 17 and verse 12. He made an everlasting covenant with them and showed them his judgment.
Uh-huh.
The eyes saw the majesty of his glory, and the ears heard his glorious voice.
So verse 13 said, the eyes saw the majesty of his glory. What are you speaking about? Give me that in Exodus 13:21.
Exodus chapter 13 and verse 21. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud
Uh-huh.
to lead them the way,
Uh-huh.
and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by the day and night.
So this is what the children of Israel's eyes have seen. They seen the fire that God set before them. Christ was in that fire. He was the fire that was leading the children by night. Then he was that pillar of cloud to keep the sun from not beaming over them during the daytime. This is what the children of Israel's eyes have seen. When you look in Sirach, it said their eyes saw the majesty of his glory. Because no one else never seen nothing like that. A fire that looked like a tornado moving in front of them to lead the way. When the sun was beaming so hot in the wilderness, he put a cloud over their head like a puddle to keep them cool. The children of Israel's eyes have seen this. It also said, and their ears heard his glorious voice. Let's get that Exodus 19:16.
Exodus.
Same book, chapter 19 and verse 16.
The book Exodus, chapter 19 and verse 16. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightning and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceedingly loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God. To meet with God. And they stood at the nether part of the mount. And the Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Lord descended upon it in fire. And the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace. And the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by a voice.
By what?
By a voice.
So the children of Israel heard the voice of God speaking through the mountain. You imagine that. The earth shake. If you in your tent sleeping, you ever been asleep and you hear that boom, shake the whole earth, you wake up, you look around. This voice was louder than like thunder shaking the earth. But when you read further on down that, the children of Israel were so scared of the voice, they told Moses, you talk to God. Because this is his voice, it's probably going to kill us. But when you in sin, that's how you're going to feel. But Lord, you keeping the spirit of God within you by keeping his laws and commandments, that voice is going to sound like a soft music to your ears. But when you live in sin, you don't want to hear God talk to you. How we know that? Because when Adam and Eve messed up in the wilderness, God and Eden, what did they do? They hid themselves from the voice of God. So when you in sin, I don't want to hear God's voice. I know I'm wrong. I know I did wrong. I don't want to hear it. That's why the Christian church out here get mad when the prophets on the streets teaching the word of God, because they know God's speaking to them. And the word of God is like fire and cutting them every which way. They don't want their sin to be called out. The power of his word will shrivel you. And Esau noticed. He knows his time is coming up. Jacob is waking up. Esau hates us. There will never be peace between us, y'all. Never will be peace. From there, let's go back to Sirach 17. Start back at verse 13 again.
Back in the Apocrypha, the book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 13. Their eyes saw the majesty of his glory, and their ears heard his glorious voice.
Yes.
And he said unto them, beware of all unrighteousness. And he gave every man commandment concerning his neighbor. Their ways are even before him, and shall not be hid from his eyes. Every man from his youth is given to evil. Neither could they make to themselves fleshy heart for stoning.
So the Bible said every man from his youth is given to evil. That's on both sides. Esau is straight evil from birth. He come up thinking evil. And guess what? Jake ain't no different from it. We got wickedness within our own self. When you want milk, you fake cry. When you know you really don't need no milk. You don't want somebody to pick you up. So everybody got the evil within them. Read.
Verse 17. For in the division of the nation of the whole earth, He set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Lord's portion.
So this right here, I like that verse. 17, where I was trying to get at. Read it again.
Verse 17. For in the division of the nation of the whole earth.
He said the division of the nation of the whole earth. Meaning every nation on the whole earth, God did what?
He set a ruler over every people.
He set a ruler over every people. But Israel, what?
But Israel is the Lord's portion.
Is the Lord's portion. Ain't nobody supposed to be ruling over us. But who ruling over us today? The so-called white man. The Chinese man. Why is that? Because when you go back to Deuteronomy 28, God told us. Matter of fact, hold it together, let's get that. Deuteronomy 28.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God would set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So the Most High God told us we will observe to keep his law, statute, commandment, that he will set us above all nations on the face of the earth. So right now, we know as a people, we not above all nations on the earth. Are we? No, we not. So let's see the flip side of the coin, what the Most High God told Moses to tell us. Verse 15.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
That all the curses from 15 all the way down to 68 will overtake us. Because why? We did not keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. So right here, when we go back to Sirach, when it says that God, read that part again.
The book Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 17. For in the division of the nation of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Lord's portion.
Israel is supposed to be the law portion. But since we broke his laws and commandments, now the other nation is ruling over us. And the Most High God is chastising us by using the other nation. Read.
Verse 18. Whom being his firstborn, he nourishes with discipline, and giving him the light of his love, doth not forsake him.
So Israel is God's firstborn. We are the firstborn of God. That's why we being jacked up the way we being jacked up. Because we supposed to be the leaders of all the other nations. The other nations supposed to be looking at us and doing the things that we supposed to be doing according to the laws and the commandments. But we dropped the ball. So the Most High God got to take the other nation and use them as a belt to chastise us for our wrongdoing. And the other nations know that, so they're trying to make sure they keep us in sin. So the white man kingdom could continue to rule. Rome do not want to give up their kingdom. Rome was ruling for a very long time. Over, what, 3,000, 2,000 years now. Because America is nothing but Rome. This ain't nothing different. That's why Christ said these people here going to be these people in the last days. From there, Genesis 25 and 29.
Genesis chapter 27 and verse 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here I am. Here am I. And he said, Behold now, I am old. I know not the day of my death. Now therefore, take I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may be blessed thee before I die.
So we go back to the story I was talking about earlier, about when Isaac called Esau in to go tell him to go vest him that meat before he get eaten, before he died, to give Esau that blessing. Because the first child should already get the blessing. But Isaac didn't remember, Rebecca remember, God said, no, the youngest supposed to get this blessing, not him. So it was already predestinated and prophesied that Jacob was supposed to get that blessing. I'm looking for something else. I'm looking for,
You down to verse 38?
yeah, there's something I'm looking for in there. Go to verse 41. I'll start at verse 41.
Verse 41.
Yeah.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing, wherewith his father blessed him.
Oh, you know, that's the white man for you today. They will hate the simple fact because you can come up with a good idea and they ain't get it, they will hate you for that. Like when you think about all these stuff that we discovered and came up with, but who got the glory and who took it? The white man stole it from us. And act like he the one who did this. He the one who came up with all this right here. They teach us in school that Christopher Columbus now find this land over here. But now when we start reading the history book and going back into real detail, the book they kept from us, we realize that no, y'all didn't find this. Y'all stole this from the Native American. Y'all didn't even know how to hunt when y'all came over here. The Native American teach y'all on how to hunt. But y'all act like y'all the one came up with this whole bright idea. That's the white man today. He's still doing the same thing he did back then, and that bloodline is still in his generation today. Read it again.
Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
But he said he don't care about that birthright. Did he say that earlier when we read it? Yeah. He told his brother, I don't care about that birthright. What that birthright got to do with me? I'm hungry. Give me that blood to me. Read.
And Esau said in his heart, the days of the morning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
I will do what?
I will slay my brother Jacob.
Then he did do say, all because what Esau got, the blessing that his father gave him, he wanted that. You didn't want it before because you thought it was nothing. But now you saw the glories of this blessing that you will have to serve your brother now. Now you want this blessing. So now since you reject the blessing and it went to Jacob, now you want vengeance, you want blood. Did not Cain did the same thing? Give me that in, I might be on site. Give me Genesis 4 and verse 8, I think. We're going to come back.
Genesis chapter 4 and verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him.
So Cain killed his brother. Why would Cain do that? Jump up to verse 1. Same chapter, verse 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 1.
As we start at verse, yeah, just start right there. We start right there.
And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived, and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground.
Cain was a tiller of the ground. Esau was a cutting hunter. You don't see the character of these two people here? Same spirits. But this is not a class, not a level. Read on.
Verse 3. And in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord.
Uh-huh.
And Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
So we know, according to the offering you put to give unto the Most High God, it's supposed to be an animal sacrifice. Because remember, when Eve and Adam did what they did, they had give a sacrifice to the Most High God, and God put the animal's skin coat over them. So Cain and Abel understand about the sacrifice. So Cain would have to go to his brother to get the first flockman of that, his flock, to be able to give a sacrifice unto the Most High God. But that was too prideful for Cain. So Cain wanted to go and just give God some fruits and vegetables. And then he even took the first of his fruits. He took wherever he could get out of the field to start giving an offering. God wasn't pleased with that. So, I'm reading the story and something kind of ticked to me. Cain was the oldest, Abel was the youngest. Cain, you got to go ask your youngest brother for the animal to be able to give that sacrifice. Go back to Esau and Jacob. Esau the oldest, Jacob the youngest. You say H with that birthright. I don't care about that. So Jacob got your blessing. Now you don't like that. Now you want to kill your brother. And that Cain did the same thing. So we see those spirits came back to the earth. And those spirits don't here today. That's why you will never see peace between Jacob and Esau as long as we live.